Hi. Yeah, I had my microphone muted this whole time. All right, I'm going to refresh these pages. Oh my god. Yeah, these are like incredibly far behind where they should be. Um let's actually pause that real quick. Let's actually save this real quick and we're going to reset. Um Yeah, because both okay, so it looks like Twitch is actually, or no wait, that's not Twitch. I might have to restart the stream. I'm gonna be entirely honest. I might have to restart the stream. Um, because we are so far behind where we actually should be. Um, um, because yeah, I haven't done anything in a while now, and yeah, what the fuck? Let me refresh this again. Yeah, because I still have not had a consistent, steady bit rate. This entire time, I've not had a consistent, steady bit rate. Yeah, YouTube hasn't even gone to the reset screen yet. Okay. All right, just testing. Okay. Somehow, which seems to be caught back up. The reason that I paused all of this is because A, internet's been fucky the entire time until now, and B, both YouTube and Twitch were like super far behind. And YouTube is still being really fucking. I'm just gonna reload the YouTube stream. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully that will be fixed. I'm hoping that that's gonna be fixed. I'm moving my hand around to see when it starts happening in the YouTube stream. Doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm continuously doing this. Try and find out when it's gonna happen on the YouTube stream. Okay. Wait, that's still like super far behind. Wait, that's like a long time ago. Okay, it looks like, wow, that's like 3 minutes behind. I just can't get to live on YouTube. I just can't do it. It will not allow me to go to live on YouTube. Whatever. Okay, well, it seems to be fixed. Twitch side is for sure. YouTube, I can't actually tell because it won't let me get. I don't know what it's doing over there. YouTube's being fucking weird. But yeah, we're gonna get back into this. We're gonna get this back started again. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So we're up to level 21. We died twice so far today, mainly because it's faster to die than it is to go back and heal. And yeah, so we're just gonna be doing that. The goal for today is to hopefully delay test. Yeah, on Twitch side, Twitch seems to be pretty good. YouTube, on the other hand, YouTube is still on the main menu screen. It has not upped. Well, actually, let's click the live button. Oh, wait, nope. Okay, YouTube's caught back up. Hey! All right, everything's caught up. Everything's here. We're all good. It's fine. Fucking hell. So that was a good start. My God, that was a mess. Hooray for consistent internet. I pay $100 a month for my internet. $100 a month for my internet, so that I have good internet for my streams, and this is the kind of shit that I have to deal with. Hooray for not having any actual competitions, so that they can have really shitty service and get away with it, because there's no other real option. Hey, are y'all ready for another 4 fights where I actually gain experience before I die and go back and have to teleport 20 more times to get 4 more fights where I gain experience and then die and then teleport back? Sounds fun. Hell yeah. Oh man. So, there's a movie that I saw this weekend. There's a movie that I saw this weekend, and if you're in the Discord, you'll know what movie I'm talking about. Oh, cool, I die. I watched Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon this weekend. And oh my God, is that movie a fucking dumpster fire. I actually had to stop. I actually had to stop watching the movie and do something else for like 3 hours or so before I could come back and finish it. Because I got to a part and they did something so self-destructive and stupid that I couldn't deal with it anymore. If you don't know anything about Rebel Moon, it was originally a Star Wars script. It was originally intended to be Zack Snyder's Star Wars movie. He pitched it and it got kicked out because it was too shitty. Now, you might think that that's really funny, considering how fucking god-awful all of the Star Wars content has been lately. Well, I'm actually not sure if it's better or worse than the Star Wars content that's come out recently. I'm actually not sure. The action choreography is hilariously bad. I actually was taking some notes while I was watching the movie. And I kind of want to do like a deep dive into the first fight scene of the movie because it's so horrifically badly done. Like you have main character. Okay, so see here's the setup for this particular fight scene. All right, so the Empire has brought one of their dreadnoughts to this area, and they come to this village that has maybe 50 people in it. And this village that has maybe 50 people in it apparently can produce enough food to feed this dreadnought, which is like basically a Star Destroyer. It's basically a Star Destroyer, right? So this village of 50 people is supposed to get enough food to feed this Star Destroyer. Which is hilarious and stupid. And you know what? I'm just gonna go heal. We're gonna go heal. I know that dying is faster, but I feel like healing. So, Star Destroyer leaves it was like 12 people. Hello, Fishiest. How you doing? Leaves like 12 people at this village to keep everybody in line and make sure that they get their harvest of all the food that's going to go and feed this Star Destroyer. Right? And immediately upon their superiors leaving, this group reveals themselves to be some of the shittiest, most evil people. And night one, I think? Artist Rob Hack, so that's super hype. Hell yeah, that's awesome. I think it's night one. They grab one of the girls from the village and they're just gonna rape her because fuck it, that's what they do. There is one soldier in the entire unit that is not down for this. And he tries to fight back, gets a couple of hits in, and then immediately gets subdued because of course he is. There's 11 people to 1. Of course he's going to lose the fight, right? It would make sense for any one person to lose when fighting against 11 people. They're going through, they're about to start the rapins, and main character lady comes on the scene, and she has an axe. These are military people with guns. She has an axe. You would think that the first order of business would be to attack while you still have the element of surprise, right? That's like what you would do. You would not announce yourself, ask the people to stop the raping, and then allow 2 men to draw guns on you before you do anything. But that's what the main character does. She asks them nicely to stop instead of attacking them when she actually has an advantage. So 2 men approach this woman. One of them has a gun directly in her face because that's what you need to do when you have a gun. So here's the thing about guns. Guns are not known for being projectile weapons that you can use from a distance. What you need is you need to get them directly, like with it. Basically, you have to be touching the other person for a gun to be useful. And so this man very brilliantly goes up to the main character and puts his gun to her face. His friend who also goes up there, he also has a gun, but he's currently pointing it at the ground because fuck it. Why not? Main character goes to hand over the axe. Not entirely sure why, but she does. But as the man tries to take the axe from her, she grips it again, and he can't pull it away. And so she pushes the gun up, and then does some flippy shit with the axe and hits him in the throat with the axe. All right, so bad guy number 1's down, and she grabs the gun. While all of this is happening, bad guy number 2, who is aiming at the floor, by the way, remember, he was aiming at the floor. His gun is suddenly now aiming at the ceiling. Am I counting struggle, self-kills as deaths? Yes, I am. And I did just do that, so I do need to increment the counter. I was just like, what are we chatting about? Sounds really dumb. We are chatting about Rebel Moon, the first fight scene in Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder's masterpiece that is currently viewable on Netflix for everybody. I don't recommend it. It's fucking terrible. So yeah, bad guy number 2 goes from pointing his gun at the floor to pointing his gun at the ceiling to then sweeping his gun not at the person who just killed his friend. No, he sweeps it down at the floor so that she can fucking, I can't even remember how she takes him out. I think she like sweeps his leg and then fucking stabs him with the axe or something. Now, at this point, Evil Commander Man has grabbed the girl that they were gonna rape and is currently using her as a human shield, and he has a gun on the main character. He has a gun on her throughout the entire fight, and he never once shoots her. Doesn't even try. Never pulls the trigger. She kills 9 out of the 11 men, and he never once shoots at her. So here's another thing. Apparently only 2 other guys have guns. The entirety of this military unit apparently has 5 guns between them. Is it an aim skill issue or plot armor? It's plot armor. Like 1000% it's plot armor. The man has cleared shots on her many times. And like, so here's another, like, these are supposed to be like hyper ruthless, seasoned veterans of a empire that's basically constantly at a war of conquest. Like, these guys cannot not have been in combat before. Yeah, she, like, Jesus Christ. I can't remember all of the nonsense that happens in that fight. I know that the few times that people do actually try to shoot her, they just pull the trigger of the gun regardless of where it's pointing. Because none of them even come close. Like, it's at the point where, like, girl is at my monitor, I have gun, I shoot over here, kind of shit. Like, that's how terrible these people are at shooting, apparently. Axe is greater than guns. Oh, she grabs a gun off of the first guy. She has a gun. Oh, by the way, the entire time people, regardless of if it's her or the other people, everybody that has a gun, again, remember, guns are not projectile weapons that can shoot from a distance. You have to have the gun pressed directly against the flesh of the person you want to murder. Not a gun owner user, but even I have better aim. Aiming a gun is not difficult. Also increment the counter. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She closes the there's a term that I've heard used, and it's just called closing the distance. If you are a ranged weapon user and you close, I literally at one point throughout this fight scene, I was like, it's like they're playing a fucking Pathfinder game, like an Owlcat game, and they're on turn-based or any kind of turn-based CRPG, and the player accidentally clicks next to the person instead of clicking on the target. So, like, you know, if you accidentally click next to the person you're wanting to shoot with your archer will run up to them, and then you're like, fuck. Well, I still have an attack option, so I might as well try to shoot him. That's basically what these guys do. Every single one of these people, they just have somebody whose mouse accuracy is absolute dog shit, and he can't actually just hit. He can't actually just click on the person. Because the main character does it too. Main character does it twice, I think. Gen 3 double battle moments. But the main character runs up to somebody. Last guy, the guy who is shown to be like the second in command, basically. He's the one who grabbed the girl for the rapins. He's also been like hyper antagonistic towards everybody up till this point. He comes around a corner, gun on full auto, just squeezing the trigger, just sweeping, and he can't get a shot on the main character before she snipes his gun out of his hand with her pistol that she currently has. And then she runs up to him, jumps on him, wraps her legs around his torso, puts the gun to the bottom of his chin, pulls the trigger. Now, I don't know about you, but A, I'm not that athletic, so I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. But B, even if I could do that, I wouldn't want to entangle myself with somebody immediately before killing them and dropping them to the floor, especially when I still have a gun on my fucking head. Because I'm going to fall with the man I just killed. And then, instead of shooting either her or the one good soldier, by the way, the good soldier is released at this point because the fight's over. Instead of having shot either of them throughout the entire time, Evil Commander Man is now aiming the gun at the girl that he's using as a human shield, basically doing the hostage thing, I will kill her, leave me alone thing. And hey, we leveled up, hell yeah. 5 more to go. Actually 3 more. I want to try at level 25. And then a robot comes in. Robot was introduced earlier. He's voiced by Anthony Hopkins, actually, and it's like the one part of this entire fight scene that I actually really like. So the robot is like, I'm not even going to get into that because like the robot doesn't make any fucking sense. He was programmed to be a warrior protector person, but because the royal family was killed, he doesn't fight anymore because fuck it, I guess. Wait, that's number 22. But he picks up one of the rifles and he's holding it. He's like holding it in a very awkward way. He's holding it like he's staring at it. He's like kind of holding it like this. I know you can't really see my hands. But like, you know, you usually want to have like this. Like this is kind of like how you want to hold a gun. Like not exactly, but kind of. He's holding it down like this. And he shoots the bad guy while he has it held in a very, like, unnatural way. But it makes sense because he's a robot. Like, he can fucking calculate all that shit because he's a fucking robot. But so he kills the final bad guy. And then he runs off because PTSD on robots is a thing apparently or something. I don't know. Like I said, the movie doesn't make any fucking sense. And yeah, that was fight scene number 1. None of the other fights are any better, by the way. None of the decisions that are made make any sense throughout the entirety of the movie. The part that broke me, though, that wasn't the part that broke me. I was able to continue watching the movie after that part. The part that broke me, where I had to stop the movie, close the tab, walk away, eat something, come back, play a couple of rounds of Hades, and then finish the movie, was they had a cantina scene shortly after this part. Because of course they have a cantina scene. It was originally a Star Wars script. Of course it has to have a cantina scene. What is Star Wars without cantina scenes, right? Because people are fucking creative, and they definitely don't just ape things from better times. No, that's not a thing that happens. In this cantina, after having the obligatory confrontation with random creepy alien man. Oh, by the way, random creepy alien man is also super rapey, but he's the kind of rapey that's into the men's, not into the women's. And she has a guy with her, and creepy alien gay rapist wants to bang him. So he wants to buy him from her because he just assumes that she owns him for some reason. And then he gets really mad when they say no, and he tries to stab them, and then she tries to stab him, and then he runs away. Immediately after this, she turns her back to the bar and addresses everybody in the cantina. Hey, we're looking for this disgraced general. We need to find him because we need his help. Disgraced general man is disgraced because he is a traitor to the Empire. And they had just shown that there are bounty hunters that frequent this cantina that work for the Empire. And she just yells this out for everybody to hear. That's the part where I was like, nope, these people are too fucking stupid to live. I can't watch this anymore. They then go and they recruit like 3 other people. It doesn't really matter. One of them literally has no lines after the scene where she's recruited, by the way. They recruit some like Conan the Barbarian looking dude, stereotypical Asian lady who's super ninja, dual wields katanas, that are definitely not lightsabers, guys, for realsies. And then the Emperor guy, or the general guy. They recruit these 3 people. I can't even remember her name. I in my notes I called her Asian lass. She literally does not speak for the rest of the movie after she's recruited. She has 0 lines. She's just kind of there. Conan the Barbarian guy, I think, has 3 lines after he's recruited. And General Man has like 2 or 3 lines after he was recruited, I think. It's fucking, I don't get it. Like, none of it makes any sense. Conan guy was enslaved by somebody because he owed like massive debts to him, apparently. So he became an indentured servant to the guy until he paid off his debts. He then bets the guy that he can, like, break a griffin. Like, break as in, I mean, like, make it domesticated. Because apparently this is something that could be done in like 5 minutes. So he bets him that he can do that, and the bet is if he does it, he goes free and he can join the rest of the group. If he can't do it, the 3 people that just showed up and are talking with him are now his slaves. The guy who owns Conan guy. All 3 of these people bet their entire future and also the future of the village because they killed all the soldier guys. The village is now going to be murdered entirely whenever the mothership comes back, whenever the Star Destroyer knockoff comes back to get the food that it was promised. Yeah, whenever that happens, they're all dead because they killed the soldiers. So that's why they're recruiting all these people, right? That's why they're trying to build a resistance. And you are going to be death number 24. Yep. But yeah, he so before he enters the pen that is housing this creature, there's 4 people in there. Each of them have ropes. And they're kind of just holding the creature between them, like making sure that it doesn't fucking rip them apart. Because it's constantly fighting. It's constantly fighting. It's snapping at him. It's rearing on its hind legs. I don't know why the fuck it doesn't just fly away. It has wings. And it's shown to be able to be very strong and be able to fly in just a moment. But it doesn't try to at that point. Conan guy comes in, stands directly in front of this thing, and then tells them to drop their ropes, which will free it and allow it to do whatever the fuck it wants, right? He then kneels down in front of this thing, which makes it so that it doesn't immediately rip off his head for some reason. He then speaks to it in a non-English language very slowly as he approaches it. And it makes this creature go from a raging violence monster into a docile creature that will allow this man to pet it. I don't know if that's how that works. I've never been with wild animals, really. It's not really my thing. I feel like that's kind of bullshit, though, just from, you know, what you would assume. I feel like that's a fairly safe assumption. Can't wait to hear how shit the non-English is. Like, it's supposed to be some alien language, so he might just be making random noises. I have no fucking clue. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I was just like, oh. He's got, like, a vaguely Native American look to him. So I'm assuming they were going off of... I thought for a second that I had somehow triggered this guy to fight me again. I was so goddamn confused. I talked to him, and then before I can move, I get into a fight. I was so confused. Damn it, still can't one-shot the level 5s, huh? Yeah, it's, I have a feeling that it's supposed to be banking on, like, Native American stereotypes, which, you know, not great. Probably shouldn't be trying to bank on stereotypes, just say it, but yeah, it's not my movie. It's not my movie. I didn't make it, you know. But he does. He jumps on the creature's back, and it freaks out immediately upon him jumping on its back, because of course it did. And he... Nice crit. Too bad it killed me. It takes off, and it's flying through the air, and it smashes its entire body against hard rock cliffs multiple times to try and get rid of this guy. So I don't know how dense the bones are of alien griffin creatures, but bird bones tend to be very hollow, which is how they can be light enough to fly. And this thing's wingspan is not big enough for it to be, like, able to carry it without some other nonsense going on. So this thing is like willing to potentially break all of the bones in its wings to get rid of this guy. And it does it multiple times. And at one point, it actually does succeed in unseating him. He falls off because it crashes into a rock face in such a way that it, like, flings him off, because it hit... So it, like, hit directly below the ledge of a cliff. So, like, it hit a solid rock, but he had space to keep going. So it flung him off. He gets up, runs down the fucking horse eagle creature, outruns it, catches back up to it, and jumps back onto its back. And at that point, the thing's just like, oh, fucking hell, and just gives up, and is now his noble steed. So he flies it back down, gives the lead to the guy who is his former owner that he owed a lot of money to. He's like, here you go. And walks off with the rest of the group. But before they leave, it shows the griffin killing the guy. And Conan Man looking on and saying, that a girl, approvingly. Now, I have an issue with this part, because it hasn't actually shown this other guy to be, like, an evil person. He's a gambling addict, apparently. And he took this guy on as an indentured servant because he owed him a fucking butt ton of money, apparently. Which is, as has been shown already in this movie, not an uncommon or even looked down upon practice in this culture. So I don't know why they're showing him being murdered as a good thing. Like, yeah, I get, like, I get slavery's bad. Slavery's bad. But, like, you have to take into consideration the culture that you've created in the stories that you're making. And if in the culture that you've created, slavery is not a big deal, you can't then, like, have people, like, right, like, am I just, like, I'm probably not getting this across very well, but it just feels really weird to kill him for something that's just, like, completely normal in their culture. It is not looked down upon. And also, the guy, Conan Man, here, actually, let me pull up the line, because I actually wrote down the exact line that he used. Don't give a shit, it'll sell well anyways. I don't know if it does. I don't think it did. The movie, I don't think did very well. Oh yeah, so Conan Man earlier, before all this happens, Conan says, I have a debt on my name and I honor my debts. And he's not saying that, like, sarcastically or like, yeah, I fucking, this is bullshit. I don't, you know, I don't want to be here, all that kind of stuff. He's like, no, I owe this guy money and I will honor this because this is how This is the only way that I can pay him back, kind of a thing. Also, by the way, he's a blacksmith. He was doing some blacksmithing before they got to him. Never comes up again in the plot, so it's fine. Maybe it'll come up in this part 2, which is supposed to come out, I think, in June. Yeah, I hope that this fucking movie, I hope that both of them have bombed. Oh, Zack Snyder, mainstay, slow-mo, that is very, very prominent in this movie. We even got the mythical double slow-mo when he was jumping back onto the Griffin's back after he got thrown off. He runs up to catch up to the Griffin. He's in slow-mo. And then he jumps. And he's above the... Oh, fucking hell. Are we back? Looks like we're back. So yeah, as he's running up to the Griffin, it's in slow-mo. And then he jumps to get onto the back of the Griffin, and it goes into super duper slow-mo, where he is now, it's like an eighth of its normal speed or some fucking nonsense. Again, there's a lot of slow-mo in this movie because it's fucking Snyder's thing. He just loves slow-mo. It's just like, oh my god, he can't have a movie without half of the runtime being extended via slow-mo. I swear to god. Yeah. That's how they got Conan. I think his actual name is Tarek, but he's Conan. Fuck it. I don't care. Oh, we hit level 22 at some point. I didn't even notice. We're almost at level 23. I don't think we'll hit level 23 this time around. I think we're going to have to go to the next one before we hit level 23. Hello. Coming back to actually the game that we're playing. Kind of forgot about that for a while. I was just kind of in my own head, just fucking remembering that stupid movie. I wonder, can I teleport out of here? No. Alright. We're gonna die again. We're gonna die again. Just fuck it. Oh, man. That whole fucking movie. Just one nightmare after another. By the way, we pick up that guy. They're like, hey, do you know anybody else that we could pick up? She says to the guy whose ship they got that I didn't even mention. By the way, in the tavern, they pick up a dude who is a self-proclaimed opportunist, yet doesn't give a shit that they can't pay him money. And is perfectly okay with helping them and doing everything that they need him to do for nothing. That's a little weird. I wonder what that is all about. Hey, Igor, what's up? I'm bitching about the bad movie that is Rebel Moon. How are you doing? He's the one who brought them to Conan because he had to some dealings with the guy who owned Conan. That is Robin Hood? No. Robin Hood is a better movie than this. Especially the Men in Tights one. But yeah, as they're leaving Conan World, oh, Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon. Yeah, as they're leaving Conan World, main character lady turns to Opportunist Man and says, "Hey, this worked out pretty good. Do you have anybody else that you know of that we can recruit?" And he's like, "I know somebody." Cut to them in some weird fucking city place, and they're just talking to an Asian lady. More Star Wars content. It was originally supposed to be Star Wars content, but they didn't allow it to be Star Wars content because it was too shit. So he made his own movie. And trust me, for the first time since I think Disney bought Star Wars, I agree with Disney Star Wars. It is too shit to be Star Wars. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. It's absolute dog shit. It's garbage. So yeah, like, so the cut is so jarring and the introduction is so terrible to this next character that I legitimately didn't realize that we were talking to a new person that is joining the crew at first. Really? Fuck you too. One experience. You fucking asshole. 23. 2 more levels. Or should I try Brock now? Should I try Brock once I get rid of all of my teleports? I think I'm gonna try Brock at level 23. We're gonna see if we can do it. Yeah, I've been just kind of, yeah, that's been the whole stream basically, is me just bitching and moaning about this terrible fucking movie. Because goddamn does it deserve to be bitched about. Every single time they're supposed to be they're trying to do some fucking big emotional scene where two characters are talking about their feelings and everything. It's so blatant and bludgeoning you over the fucking head with everything that they want you to know that I just couldn't help but laugh. I mean, fuck, I said it in the Discord, right? The instant that they decide to leave and go on this journey, right? So you got main character. This is before the cantina even. You got main character and friend guy. Main character and friend guy. When you get burnt by excessive plot exposition. Oh yeah, no, this is exactly what I'm about to talk about. Main character and friend guy sit down and they're camping. And she, unprompted, goes into her entire backstory, complete with flashbacks for the viewer to see what exactly she's talking about. And she spends the next like 5 minutes or so telling him everything about her origin story. And at the end, she turns to him, but she might as well have turned directly to us. Where the hell is it? Wait. Did I not write it down? Oh, I wrote it down in the Discord. That's right. It's not in my notes. It's in the Discord. She turns to him and she tells him, I'm telling you this so you know exactly who I am. And it's like, why would you say that? Nobody talks like that. Nobody talks like that. Who the fuck are you? Nobody cares. All right, let's try Brock. They know they aren't good enough for sequels, so they wanted to put everything they wrote out as soon as possible. Well, here's the thing. If they fucking put some more effort into the script, and put some effort into the choreography, and put some effort into literally any part of this fucking movie, they would get it. Well, I mean, they're getting a sequel anyway. Hey, we beat... I think the viewers need to know who she is. That's exactly what it is. Like, that's what I said. It's like, oh, she turns to friend guy, but actually she turns directly to the camera, looks you, the audience member, in the eye, and it's like, this is who I am. I want you to know, and I want to make sure that you know that this is who I am. I am this person. Audience. All right, so we beat the Geodude. We did not even come close to beating the Onyx. It's just so frustrating. It's like, come on, guys. You don't need to be the worst. When 2+ new characters are shown for the first time and they have to say their names in a dialogue, but it just sounds so weird. Yep. Oh, hey, I died. Ugh. Did you find the target, John, my good friend? Yeah. Shit like that is just, ugh. Why? Yeah, pretty much. Oh, dude, every time she starts talking, um, every time she starts talking, she starts like talking about her past trauma and all this stuff. I can't help but laugh because it's just so, it's like, do you fucking get it? She has problems that she hasn't dealt with yet. Ugh. It's like, oh Jesus, all right, please, ow, ow, my head, the stick, you're beating me over the, stop it. And like, they just fucking can't help but just bludgeon the audience to death with their exposition. God. It's like another one, it's yet another example of a movie that should be taught about to show what should not be done. There's a lot of those. Last Jedi, Multiverse of Madness, Rebel Moon. Like, I think Last Jedi and Multiverse of Madness are two different, like, they're very different movies, but they have, but one thing that they have in common is that they are, like, great examples of what not to do with legacy characters. And not how to introduce new characters to a legacy franchise, right? So, Last Jedi, you have, you know, how they treat Luke, how they treat Leia, how they treat Han. They bring in Rose Tico, who's supposed to be this new character that you're supposed to be excited about, you're supposed to like a lot, but actually she's just a psychopath. She's a fucking crazy person who endangers the lives of every single one of her friends because that's how we're gonna win, not destroying what we hate, but saving what we love. As a fucking... That fucking shot is hilarious. That shot is hilarious because immediately after she says that we gotta save what we love, a laser beam shoots in the background and blows up the only thing that's defending the people that they love. And she allowed that to happen. Anyway, Rose Tico's a terrible character. Sorry, not sorry. She's bad. Let's see. Oh yeah, Multiverse of Madness. You have, you know, Doctor Strange is turned into a complete and utter moron. Wanda Maximoff is completely assassinated and becomes a villainous character for absolutely no reason except the writer had a hard-on for having her as the villain because he thought that she would be a cool villain. Regardless of whether or not that is actually makes any sense for that character. They also introduce America Chavez, who is a terrible character in her own right because they do not give her the time necessary to allow her to develop. She could be a great character, but they did not allow her time to be one. And then you have Rebel Moon, an ideal example of how not to introduce a new franchise, right? It's every single one of these characters. We are going to... Oh my god, I forgot. So at the end of the movie, spoilers for a terrible movie that I don't recommend anybody watch. At the very end of the movie, before the final climactic battle, everybody gets captured. The entire group gets captured because, surprise, the opportunist, the self-proclaimed opportunist, who did not ask for or require any kind of payment whatsoever and just joined them and has been helping them and driving them all over the galaxy to pick up all of these very important anti-imperial characters. Oh man, it turns out he was actually working with the bounty hunters that he was shown talking to immediately before the main character talked to him. Oh man, that's super crazy. And he now has all of them captured and is about to turn them all into the Empire. But that's a basic Multiverse of Madness shitting? Not really, no. If I'm talking about stories, it's probably going to come up at some point because holy fuck is that movie terrible. So main bad guy comes down and he's like, he looks at each and every single one of them. And then he walks up to each and every single one of them and he just exposits all of their backstory. He's like, oh, you, oh man, Tarek. Or should I say Prince Tarek of the blah 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 planet where we slaughtered all of his peoples. Blah 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 blah. Oh, the woman known only as Nemesis. An assassin who has killed so many people of the Empire because we slaughtered her children. Ha 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 ha. Beat Run and Bun Roxanne pretty easy despite having a fucking Zygarde 10% on your team. Hell yeah. Nice, nice. And it's like, oh, General Titus, oh man, your reputation precedes you because of the battle that you lost. Ha 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 ha. He just goes around, taunts every single one of them as he exposits their entire backstory, and it's like, oh fucking hell. Just shoot them already. Stop fucking around and kill them. You've won. You win. You've won the day. You've won. Favorite hero villain interaction is the Batman meme. Which meme is that? I actually don't know which exact meme you're talking about. Oh yeah. I mean, that was so good though. Like, it's such a good interaction. I recently rewatched that particular scene because I've seen the meme so many times. Everybody fucking has, right? But like the delivery of both of them is actually like really good. Like fucking what's his nuts? I can't even remember the bad guy's name. But he's like not trying to be like super edgy or anything like that. He's just like legitimately confused. He's like, come on, dude, help me out here. Like that's kind of, I just missed a struggle. Fuck you. He's like basically just like, come on, throw me a bone here, man. I don't know who you're talking about. Right, exactly. Yeah, that little pause and like delivery. It's not just like a lot of times it's not just the lines that are said, it's how they are said that makes a scene work or fail, right? Because you can have stuff like that where like that little pause is just like where he's just like thinking. He's like, all right, who could this be? I don't fucking know. Like that kind of thing. Versus like a Tommy Wiseau delivery. Right? Where it's just like, oh Jesus fucking Christ. Oh god, that was terrible. That kind of thing. It's like one of the reasons that I really think that voice actors do not get nearly the credit that they deserve. Because that's all they have is their voice. Like they don't have body language that they can use to help convey what they're trying to get across. That's all on the animators. They only have their voice and they have to get this stuff across. And when it's done well, it's done very well. And it leaves a fucking impression. Oh god, what's that from? I was right there. I might even be misremembering it. Is that from that same I'm trying to I feel like I'm getting like 3 different scenes crossed in my brain right now. By the way, Batman Beyond, a hyper well actually, I don't even know if it's an underrated thing. Oh yeah, that one. I've seen that one. Yeah. Obviously, I did not get far enough in my playthrough to get there, but yeah, I remember seeing that online as a short. Yeah, it's also definitely not what I was thinking. When I was trying to remember where that was from in my head. All right, we're almost. Oh, by the way, we could probably do that. Wait a second. You need to know so much shit to make a passable voice. Oh, really? Wait, why is this not... Hold up. Why are you not picking up on this music? Hold on. 1 second. Oh, because it's playing through my normal speakers. That's why. There we go. This is what I was trying to do. I forgot to turn the fucking music on. Wait, what just happened? Why are you so slow? Stop being slow. Wait. Okay, there we go. That was really weird. I do not know why it was fake talking is so hard to do. Yeah. Well, like part of it is just you have to get into the right like mindset kind of. Like I actually faked a voice for 3 days at one point when I was working at Pizza Hut just to fuck with somebody. I just started talking in a really bad Russian accent. And I just did it for 3 straight days. We had just hired a new guy, and so the first day that he worked there, I talked normally. And then days 2, 3, and 4, I talked to this terrible Russian accent. Just to fuck with him. And I stopped when he came up. He was like, please, I can't even remember what you normally sound like. Please just stop. Fake friendly voice. I never really did a hyper friendly voice. I would do a professional voice. I was never like super duper friendly, but I was always professional, except for the times where I was over the customer's bullshit. And it's one of the reasons that I like being on overnights now, because I don't have to deal. Oh, hello, kitten. I don't have to deal with the customers, except for the first hour of my shift and the last hour of my shift. The only time that I got to deal with people. And most of the time these days, I'm in the dairy department, which means that I'm in the back down stacking our pallets at the beginning of the night, so I'm not even out on the floor. And I'm usually back in the cooler putting my overstock away at the end of the night. So I'm not out there. So I very rarely actually have to deal with customers anymore. And it's fucking great. I love it. I have no patience for those motherfuckers. Hurts up. One of my buddies was telling me about how one of our coworkers had gone into the meat cooler to try and find a specific thing for a customer, which is fucking stupid. It's really dumb. And I've literally just, if anybody's like, hey, is there any in the back here? I'd be like, maybe, but it would take me an hour to find it. Because there's literally zero fucking organization back there. Save for the meat cooler. But this guy told the guy that he would go back and look for it. And apparently this customer, after being told that, thought that it would be perfectly okay for him to go back into employee-only areas, into the meat cooler, on his own. And neither of the people that were back there told him that he couldn't do that. I was like, no, fuck that. Fuck that. It's like, no, you being back here is a liability. You should not be back here. You can't be back here. You need to leave now. Like, that is one thing that I got very good at doing. Trying to get no. He didn't follow him back there. He came back after the other guy went back there. So, like, employee and customer interact. Customer asks employee to check in the back. Employee goes in the back to check. A few minutes later, customer comes into the back as well. It wasn't a follow me prompt or anything. The guy just decided on his own to go and check in employees only areas. Yeah. I could understand if it was the one, and I clarified, like I actually asked that when I heard that story. I was like, wait, he just followed him back? And he's like, no, he came back. He came in later. And I'm like, the fuck? I don't know about you guys, but when I was just a customer, and like when I go elsewhere, when I'm not at the Walmart that I work at, and even when I'm at the Walmart that I work at, if I'm not on the clock, once you get to those employees only doors, that section of the store doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. That might as well be a wall. I am never going back there. Because I don't belong back there. I should not be back there. Customers don't go back there. But yeah, one thing that I did get very good at when I was at the Pizza Hut was I got real comfortable telling people basically to fuck off. Because you have to at times. There are times where like you're in that scenario and somebody's just being entirely unreasonable or is overstepping or something. I always forget that employee only areas are a thing. Yeah. I'll fucking always remember forever. For the rest of my life, I will not forget this interaction. So one night at Pizza Hut, this was years and years ago. This was probably 2014. So 10 years ago, maybe 26. I'm sorry, not 2014, 2016. It was probably 2016 or 2017. Lady calls up to the Pizza Hut. One of the drivers picks up the phone. I'm doing something, you know. There's always stuff to do, right? There's always stuff to do. So I'm not really paying attention. This guy is on the phone with this lady for 45 minutes. Because she is constantly trying to get him to give her Wardrobe the bitch in the yeah. Yep, exactly. She's trying to get him to give her an online only discount, which we are not allowed to do because it's online only. The fact that it is online only is because they want you to not call into the store. Because if you're not calling into the store, you're not taking up employee time, which saves the company money. That's why the discount is online only. And like, if you are caught giving online only discounts to call in orders, you can get in a lot of fucking trouble. And he kept telling her that. And she kept saying, I found out later, she kept saying, oh, I don't want you to lose your job. I don't want you to get in trouble, but like, could you give me this deal anyway? It's like, bitch, did you not hear what we just said? We cannot do this. We cannot give you this thing. Stop asking. She was on the phone with this guy for 45 minutes before he finally just said, to hell with it, and hung up on her. She calls back. This time, one of the other supervisors answers the phone. Literally the same thing happened. Because he didn't have that ability to just tell her no. He was, again, on the phone with this woman for 45 minutes before he hung up on her. And she calls back a third time. And they're like, Mike, it's your turn. I'm like, all right, bet, watch this. I just picked up the phone and hung up. I'm like, we've already lost an hour and a half tonight because of this dumb bitch. I'm not wasting any more time on her. If she doesn't want to listen to what we have to say, we don't waste time. We don't waste our breath. Don't waste your breath on that shit. Don't waste your time on that shit. If somebody's being unreasonable, if somebody's being stupid as hell, if they're not listening to what you have to say, there's no point in continuing that conversation. Period. Silly customers. Hotel, restaurant as well. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Yep. I've heard and seen a lot of crazy shit about hotel stuff. I don't want you to lose your job or anything, but please leave. Yeah, that's basically what she was saying. She's like, oh, I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you to lose your job or anything. Like, I heard them tell her blatantly, we can lose our job if we give you this discount and we get caught doing it. Well, I don't want that, but could you do it anyway? Small rural hotel with like 8 rooms, and we offer day use passes so families who lunch there can use the pool. Oh, I wish I had a pool. I wish I had a pool. I'd be in that bitch every day. We're not a water park, right? Like, we can't even fit 30 bodies in our pool. Shoo, go away. Please do the thing without the negative. Yeah, it's like, we're not lying to you. Like, that's the thing. A lot. Now, there's going to be times where somebody just doesn't want to do a thing, and they will say that they can't. Because, sir, have you seen the pictures? You can't fit there. Yeah. Like, a lot of times, people will just think that we're lying when we say stuff like that. It's like, no, I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you that we can't do this. You could read it, because she had the fucking thing. She just didn't want to go online. Or she was having difficulty. I can't remember. She didn't want to go online, is basically what it was. She didn't want to go online and do it. She was old. Probably didn't know how the internet worked or something. I don't know. It was going to steal her soul if she went on the internet. How close am I? Oh my god, I'm not even level 24 yet. I want to die. Alright, we should hit 24 this time around. Also, it's getting a little bit warm in here, so I'm going to turn my heater down. Turn it all the way down. But yeah, like, it's the broken ice cream machine at McDonald's, right? A lot of the time it's because they don't want to deal with it. Still wild to me that people in that situation would say, oh, sorry, didn't realize you can do that, my bad. Well, like I said, it's because they think that you're lying. Or they think that we're lying. That we can't, that we could do it if we wanted to. We just don't want to. So they keep badgering you and badgering you and badgering you, trying to, like, just annoy you to the point where you'll just do it so that they'll leave you the fuck alone. Yeah. Yeah, it's just... I don't get people, is basically what it boils down to. Which is why I like working on overnights. I don't have to deal with them. I just put my stuff on the shelves and I go home at the end of my day. Let's not run away when we're trying to get rid of our teleports, huh? How close are we to... I mean, I know that we just leveled up. 1429, huh? Oh. Yeah, I've always been hyper skeptical of basically everything. I've always needed to fucking basically see something myself before I would believe it. So, yeah. Man. Imagine not being in this fucking forest still. How far are we at? 4 hours. 4 hours in to this fucking run, and we're still in this fucking forest. At least Chansey was able to fucking slap the shit out of things. Abra doesn't want me to leave? It doesn't. It really doesn't. Oh wait, Darklight, weren't you the one who said 27? Weren't you the one that was saying 27 last week? For what level we would have to get to? Keep spamming the exit move until you can't, yeah. Right? Almost could get some extras. Generation always questions anything. Direct quote from him. Hell yeah. Why wouldn't we? Less than 30, I think. Okay. The number that was thrown around a lot, I remember, was 27. Our next attempt at Brock is going to be 25. So we got one more level to go before we try it again. We tried it at 23. We were able to get past the Geodude, and then the Onix immediately killed us. So not ideal. Yeah, I kind of want to look up J Rose's run just to see what level he had to get to beat Brock. But he's also like very much still need crits to get by. Oh yeah. 36. Actually, in fact, I'm gonna J Rose Abra. Okay. Shush. Aren't the pigeons between the exit and the Pewter City a little higher level than these bugs? Maybe a bit quicker to fight those there? They can be. So like this patch right here? Or are you talking about the one to the right of Pewter City? We can't get to there yet. Yeah, the one where we catch the Spearow we can't get to yet. This one, yeah, it's still 3 to 5 it looks like. And Kakuna is still going to give us more experience than any of these. Yeah, because if we Fire Red Leaf Green or a ROM hack, maybe. Yeah. Head back into the forest. Hello? All right, apparently, okay, there we go. I was about to say, apparently I've hunted everything in the forest to extinction. But yeah, so pulling up J Rose's video, it looks like he did end up getting to level 27 before he beat Brock. Time to grind even more. Yep. I'm still going to try it at 25. I'm not going to try it at 26. If I don't beat it at 25, I will just go straight to 27. But I still want to see what 25 looks like. And it seems like he... Well, I don't know. He might have just skipped over a whole bunch of failed attempts or something. I don't know. Alert, replay some Dragon Age Origins? Hell yeah. Enjoy your Dragon Age. I've never finished a Dragon Age game. Any game that's like super huge these days, I just don't really... I tend to get lost and spend 1,000 hours punching the darkspawn in the forest. I don't even know what you're talking about. I legitimately do not know what you mean when you say these things. I know almost nothing about Dragon Age. I don't remember anything about it. I don't even remember which Dragon Age game I've played. I think it was Origins. Oh, no, wait. I think it was Inquisition. I think it was Inquisition, not Origins. Yeah. Mine was Inquisition. That's the one that I played, not Origins. So yeah, I don't know shit all about Origins. Thing in yellow, not red and blue. Okay. The one in the snow with the green light in the sky. It sounds familiar. Yeah, I didn't get too far in that. It's kind of the same issue that I have with Baldur's Gate. BG3. Is that I just didn't feel any progression at all. Regardless of whether or not I was actually making progression, I didn't feel like I was making any progression, which kind of just felt gross, and I ended up just not wanting to play it anymore. I just didn't feel like I was accomplishing anything. And like, I'm somebody who wants to explore. I want to do all of the things that are possible. The whole point is it's visible the entire... No. I mean, like, when I got... I got to a certain point where I was just like doing all of the things that I could possibly do, and it was taking 1,000 years and I wasn't getting anywhere. Yeah, it was definitely Inquisition. I just couldn't remember which was which for a bit. Like I said, the last time... Well, here, let's pull up my Steam library. When was the last time I played Inquisition? War table operations? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, hey, I do have Dragon Age Origins. So when last time I played Dragon Age Origins was 2015. Oh, maybe it was Dragon Age Origins. Wait. How did I get that wrong? Yeah, because I don't have Dragon Age Inquisition on Steam. Maybe I played it on something else? Oh, wait. Is Dragon Age Inquisition... Is it even on Steam? Or is it Origin only? I don't know. Wow, we still can't. We are 4 times the level of that fucking Kakuna, and we still can't beat it in one shot. Jesus Christ. I just realized that. That's depressing as hell. Origin and Xbox Game Pass. So is it not on Steam at all? Wait. Dragon Age Inquisition. Huh. Why is it ignored? Apparently I ignored it at one point. Don't know why, don't know when. Probably because I do have it on another system, it's just not on here. So I'm assuming I've played it since, when did it come out? 2014? Oh, maybe I did play it earlier. Because I think I got it when it came out. Yeah. I'm already on my way back. I'll save a death by healing. Lose precious seconds of the timer. Look, in this one, in the Tuesday runs, I'm not going to be that worried about the timer. I'm going to be honest. Can't spam teleport out of combat to burn power points. Yeah, it'd be nice. Fuck, I would take just getting a move deleter and deleting it. Just imagine deleting your only move in the game so that you could just spam struggle forever. Man, so I just had a thought. You know, 10 years from now, when we finally get up to Gen 9... God damn it, Igor. Thirsty bitch. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, 10 years from now, when we finally get to Gen 9 for these runs... When do I stop the run? Like, do I just get through the original game? Do I have to go all the way through all of the different DLC stories? Like... Because I don't think I want to go all the way through the DLCs, because that's a lot of extra time. Churro? Thinking like the fucking professor. Johto Run and Heart Gold Soul Silver. Why that? Because I do kind of want to do them all in the original versions. So like none of the remasters or remakes. Honestly, just do main story. That's probably what I'm thinking. Just Elite Four, yeah. Well, because like in Gen 9, it's cute watching the Pokemon follow you, but like there's gonna be extra stuff and it's gonna be different. We still got a ways before we get to Gen 2 even though. We'll figure that out. I'm probably just gonna do the normal silver version. Because I will be playing on silver regardless of which version I play on. It will be silver. It'll probably... So, It'll probably be ruby. It'll be silver for sure. I died. I was not paying attention to my health. Oh well. $570, that's 2 more. Wouldn't judge if you wanted to play with only one Pokemon for each of each evolutionary line. Do you pick the youngest one? Well, see, the thing about that is that it's also interesting to see if the evolutions make like crazy differences. Especially like the if we do like the starters, how much better is Feraligatr than Totodile? And if Totodile's the best of the unevolved forms, well, what if Meganium is the strongest of the fully evolved forms? It's like all of these different interesting interactions and differences and changes. That's one of the reasons that I really like doing these. And like also as we get through, well, like Johto's also another weird one, right? Gen 2, because it's like, do I stop at, it's not Meganium, I can guarantee that. Maybe. Grass is a pretty decent defensive typing. I mean, it's probably going to be... I would honestly expect Feraligatr to be the strongest of the starters in Gen 2. Like, legitimately. I was just throwing out names as examples. But yeah, in Gen 2, do we stop at the Elite Four, or do we go all the way to Red? I feel like that's actually a better conversation to have right now, because... like I said, it's gonna be like 10 years before we get to Gen 9, right? And the Kanto part of Gen 2, from everything that I've seen, like, I have not played through Gen 2 since I was a kid. I'm gonna be completely honest. I have not played through Gen 2 since I was a kid. From what I've seen, specifically of J Rose's runs, is that the vast majority of Kanto is just boring as fuck. Because the gym leaders are vastly underleveled compared to even the Elite Four, which you have to beat before you get those. It's just, like, as far as I can tell, there's only like 2 interesting fights in Kanto, and it's blue and red. That's it. 387. Damn. I don't want to fight you. I'm going to be a little bit pickier. There we go. Ain't enough for crappy Pokemon. Well, like, here's the thing. Once you get to Gen 2, Gen 2 is when you start getting better movesets on Pokemon. Also 39 deaths. So I'm also kind of interested in seeing how... Welcome back, Fishy. I'm interested in just the move set differences between Gen 2 and Gen 1 as well. And we will actually be able to see some of those, right? We'll be able to see some of the different runs and the different move sets from Gen 1 and Gen 2, because because of my thoughts about doing the top 5. I was originally thinking about maybe doing the top 10 Pokemon in Gen 1 and Gen 2. But I think what we're going to do is we're just going to do the top 5. Or maybe even the top 3, right? We don't have to do a whole lot of them. But I am curious if, or how many, basically how far we can take Gen 1 Pokemon if we just continue doing that, right? Take the top 3 Pokemon from every generation, or from every, yeah. So like in Gen 1, we'll take the top 3 Pokemon that we get in Gen 1. So it'll probably be Mewtwo, Articuno, and then somebody else. Probably Gengar. And then run those in Gen 2. Compare those with all the Pokemon from Gen 2. And the top 3 of all of those, so the Gen 2 Pokemon plus the 3 from Gen 1, take the top 3 of those and bring them to Gen 3. Run those. And so on and so forth. And see, like, I'm curious if Mewtwo just makes it all the way. I wonder if Mewtwo makes it all the way. There's only 3 runs per generation. So it's not like it's going to be adding a ton of extra stuff. How close? I know I just checked. 287. We're probably not going to hit it this time around. Stop being the top 3 at probably Gen 5. Maybe. Maybe. When did Megas come in? Was that Gen 6? Ah, damn it. How close am I? 84. Gen 6? Because as soon as Gen 6 comes in, suddenly you got Mega Mewtwo to deal with as well. How are we going to treat Megas? I mean, Megas are just a part of that Pokemon, right? Like, it's just a thing that that Pokemon can do. Probably, I'll probably treat Megas as just... Yeah, Megas were cool. I wish instead of going through a whole bunch of different gimmicks, they had just continued doing Megas instead. Yeah, I am curious. Find their item first to even use the form. So if the item is late game, you can't use the form. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking more about that. It's like maybe we don't use Megas. And if we do, maybe they're their own thing and we just do like 2 or 3 of them, not like a whole bunch. I don't know. Because, like, what if we were to do, like, a Mega Blaziken run, and we just use the randomizer to give ourselves Blazikenite, or whatever the fuck the name of the stupid stone is, from the get-go, so we could just use it from the get-go? How many Megas are in Gen 6? Oh, god damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. 6, 27, 20, 30. There's only 30 in Gen 6. That's actually not that bad. Yeah. Super annoying to add on. Well, how many... I have a feeling that if we actually get to Gen 6, well, when we actually get to Gen 6, I'm hoping to be able to dedicate more time to these. Because like, it's going to take a long time for us to even get there, right? Like, it's going to be a while before we get to Gen 6. And obviously, the hope would be that the channel has grown since then, right? Or by then. And if the channel has grown to a certain point, you know, I could start going down to part-time with my main job. I could start doing longer streams, which would allow me to do more runs. So we could end up getting more, like, paradoxically, even though we're adding more runs in, we could actually get them done faster. Yo, Stack, thank you very much for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. By the way, if you want to steal some money from Jeff Bezos, and you got a Amazon Prime sitting around, and you want to toss that Prime sub my way, I'm not going to say no to that. All right, by the way, guys, we just hit level 25, which means we are going to get rid of all our teleports, and then in about 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to go and try Brock again. Oh my god, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're trying Brock once again. Are we going to beat him? Probably not, but we're going to try anyway. Maybe we just got a better Abra than J-Rose did. Oh, interesting. Those don't show up as animated emotes on the restream chat. That's unfortunate. Oh well. I don't think there's much I can do about that. It's not that big a deal. Thought that was intentional. That is not intentional. It is unfortunate is what it is. We need more kitty emotes. At some point, I would like to commission an artist to get some better emotes. I would like to make Smilodon versions of my kitties. And I know for a fact that most of my emotes are going to be owlbear themed once I get that done, once I can afford it. Which probably next year is when I'll be able to, well, next year at the latest is when I'll be able to do it. Because at that point I'll have paid off my car. I've less than a year. I have less than a year before my car is paid off. Oh my god, I can't wait. You have no idea how much I can't wait for that to be fucking done. It's gonna be like the best day of my fucking life is when I pay this damn car off. Okay, Brock time. Let's see. Can we beat him? Probably not. We're gonna try anyway. Jesus Christ, that's so little damage. We need crits. Come on, we need crits. One more. No. I said one more crit. So we die. Well, technically, if we take no damage from him whatsoever, never mind. If we took no damage from him whatsoever, we could have beaten the Onyx. We would have had 3 health left had we taken 0 hits from him. We didn't get very many crits, but we also didn't get hit that often. I'll try it one more time. We'll try one more time. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do this. Let's do this. We got this. All right, so we are now taking 100% recoil damage because we are doing 1 damage to the Geodude, so that's great. I'm so happy about that. That was a critical hit, by the way. There's another critical hit, and we're dead, I think. Especially with that crit. Yep. All right, so we're getting the Onyx down to about half health. But we're not gonna win this. Let's go and do some more grinding, huh? We might be able to beat Brock today, actually. What time is it? Oh, it's 8 o'clock. I don't... Fucking hell. We got an hour left, and I'm like, I don't know. We might not be able to get those last 2 levels to be able to beat Brock in an hour. Just a reminder, we started today at level 20. We are now level 25. To be fair, it is Abra. It is Abra. This is true. Okay, that's 43. How much experience do I need to level up? 1,300. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's gonna take so long. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get it done. Even if somehow we don't get past Brock today, we should be able to get past Brock very early next week. I know you can sometimes find stuff on the ground. It's great. I love finding stuff on the ground. I would like to not talk to you. We are getting there, though. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Opinions on not finding stuff on the ground? I mean, look. If I were to go around and I were to just find something on the ground that I could sell for $200, I would be ecstatic. And you best believe my next stop would be to sell that sumbitch. Unless there's some identifying fucking thing where I can return it to whoever it got it. Whoever dropped it. But, you know. Barring that, I'm gonna sell that shit. I'm gonna take that money and I'm gonna buy some emotes. I'll get some new emotes. That's what I would do with that. Speaking of emotes, we're only about 200 200 subs on YouTube away from being able to have emotes, I think. Yeah, because that's when we get channel memberships. When we get to 500 subs. And then we can have emotes on the YouTubes. Speaking of subscribers, despite the fact that we haven't even started on the most recently met thing, words, subscriber goal, that's the thing. We got another one already, 350 subs, and I will start working towards a Lantern King speedrun in Pathfinder Kingmaker. Which honestly, the funny thing is, I think that even on story difficulty, I think the Lantern King speedrun is going to require more changes to the route and the speedrun and the build than the unfair difficulty speedrun will. I legitimately believe that. I believe that we will need more for Lantern King. More changes than we will for unfair. Which is one of the reasons that I've done this after the unfair speedrun. Man, Friday's gonna be fucking... So okay, so actually that's something that we could talk about a bit. Friday, we're gonna be starting the Kingmaker unfair speedrun routing, and I think the first thing to do is to test. I'm just going to load up a save that I have of me in front of Nyrissa. I'm gonna put that shit on unfair, and I'm going to see how horribly that fight goes for me with the build that we already use. I think that's step one. I think step two is to test the other fights that we have to go through, specifically Armagh, because I think any fights before Armagh, we're going to be over leveled enough that the differences are going to be fairly limited. I think the major differences in the routing is going to come at the very beginning of the run and the very end of the run. I think the middle is going to be basically the exact same, especially since we skip chapter 6 entirely. We skip the final boss of chapter 4. We actually fight very few enemies in chapter 4, right? Chapter 3 we have to fight some stuff, chapter 2 we have to fight, and chapter 1 we have to fight, right? Maybe I start being more picky about which... I think I'm going to start being more picky about what I kill. I think we're only fighting Kakuna again. I kind of started only fighting Kakuna because we started taking too much damage from the poison sting of Weedle. But I think... Well, Metapod as well. Like, evolved bugs, right? The mid-stage bugs. We're not going to fight any Caterpie, any Weedle. I will fight level 5 Pikachu because that gives us 58 experience, which is only beaten out by level 6 Kakuna. But yeah, like a level 5 Weedle we're not going to fight. And because you suggested it, you did... Oh! We one-shot! We one-shot without a crit! That's actually really huge. Hell yeah, we finally one-shot everything in the fucking forest. It's about time. We had to get to level 25, but we did it. Alright, now I will kill anything because that just gets me back to the Pokemon Center. Oh, hey, that would have been nice to be able to get that experience, but oh well. And because you suggested it, this is also true. This is also true. You did mention that. So, Friday, I was at work, as I do. And while I was at work, so there is a section that's kind of like by the cheese wall, which is what I usually stock these days. I'm usually the cheese wall stalker. There is a couple of like mobile shelves, like they're like tiny metal shelving things on wheels that you can move around and stuff. That the bakery uses to put excess baking stuff on. There's usually like donuts from that day or loaves of bread or pies sometimes. And on Friday I was walking by and I saw some brownies on there, and they were cream cheese brownies. And I was like, I don't know if I've ever had a cream cheese brownie. Like, I've had cream cheese frosting on cakes, but I've never had a cream cheese brownie. I'm like, fuck it, I'll pick it up. It's like, they're all marked down, so they're like super cheap. This was like $3, $3.50 for 4 brownies. I was like, to hell with it, I'll try it. Holy fuck. Those brownies are like the heaviest brownies that I've ever fucking had in my life. I would eat one and I would be like, I don't want anything near my stomach for the next like year. I gave one to one of my buddies and he didn't even finish it. He's like, oh my god, this is too fucking much. This is too fucking much. I was like, yeah, these are definitely not brownies that you can eat every day. I finally finished the last one today before I went live on stream. They are, that's quitter talk. You don't understand. You don't understand the magnitude of these fucking brownies. They were also like, excuse me. Like, cream cheese frosting is also not for everybody because it's like hyper sweet. It was like almost too sweet for me, which actually isn't that hard to do because I'm not somebody who has a huge sweet tooth. I'm definitely somebody who prefers salty snacks over sweet snacks. If you give me a choice between like a cupcake and a bag of chips, like I'd say probably 7 or 8 times out of 10 I'd grab the chips. Because I thought I still had some more. Well, it's a good thing that was a Kakuna anyway. I grabbed both. That'd be too much. That'd be too much for me. Oh, I should not have fought you. How much did you give me actually? 35? That's not bad. Oh, the fuck out of sweet things. Most like, yeah, that's like one of those things where it's like, I understand that I am in the minority here. Salties are clearly a superior choice. Oh, we got another. Oh shit. YouTube and Twitch. YouTube is apparently the salty side. Twitch is apparently the sweet side. Got a rivalry. Rivalry. Fight it out. Fight it out. Do it. Oh, Dark also going for more of the salty road than the sweet road. Oh shit. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Fuck. Both are salty, but in different ways. This is also true. All right, and that is 46 deaths. Might actually. Baklava and that stuff is so sweet when homemade. Fair enough. I think. I think the sweetest, like, so I'm trying to think if there was any like majorly homemade sweets or anything that I had when I was growing up. Not really. Well, my mom would make homemade donuts every once in a while. Well, specifically donut holes, right? So we would, which is basically just we would make a ball of dough, cook it up, and then roll it in some icing, and that's that. So we would have those. But I think like the only other thing that comes to mind immediately is something that I found the recipe for and I made, which is Oreo cheesecake cupcakes, which are really good. That was actually a funny thing. So I was scrolling on iFunny of all things. This was years ago. And it was like 3 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. So if you're not American, Thanksgiving, it's the 3rd Thursday of November or something like that. And it's like a major US holiday. It's, you know, most stores are closed. And I find this recipe online. And I'm like, this seems... Well, I should probably take something to Thanksgiving today. So... fuck it, I'll make this, I decide. While having literally nothing at my house to be able to make it. I didn't have Oreos because I'm not a sweets person, right? Didn't have Oreos, didn't have any of the ingredients necessary. Didn't even have a cupcake baking sheet or any cupcake like wrappers or anything like that. Had absolutely nothing to make this stuff. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. On a day where most stores are closed. And when I say most stores, I mean like I had to go to a Walgreens to be able to pick up the food that I need, like the ingredients of the stuff that I needed. Which is hilarious because I was not expecting them to actually have the fucking baking sheet, but they did. So I try this, I start making this recipe, and people that are into baking probably know that cheesecake is kind of a problematic thing to make and get to set correctly, apparently. I will kill the Pikachu, actually. Pikachu gives pretty decent XP per health lost, I would say. But anyway, so I get all the stuff. I go home. I did not mean to kill that stupid fucking Caterpie. And I start cooking. I start baking. I start following the instructions. I'm doing all the things. I'm making all the stuff. And struggle with cheesecake is real. Yeah. I get the 3 batch, so I made 3 batches because I was going to 3 different Thanksgivings. 1 batch for my dad's house, 1 batch for my mom's house, and 1 batch for my friend's house because we were having a friend group Thanksgiving that night as well. So obviously I get my dad's out of the oven, let it cool, get it in the fridge as quickly as I could. Get it all ready to cool off and set and all that. Pull out my mom's. Do the same thing. Pull out the one from my friend's house because, like, I had to cook them separately. Could not have them all in the oven at the same time. There's just not enough room. So I had to cook them all separately. And then I had to leave. Like 20 minutes after the third one came out of the oven. So I have to put them all in my car. Batches 2 and 3 are still warm. they had not had enough to, well, batch 3 for sure. Well, it's been a while. I might be misremembering and exaggerating it, but batch 3 was still definitely warm. It had not had enough time in the fridge to actually cool off. So I get to my dad's house and I'm like, hey, do you have room in the fridge for these? And he's like, yeah, you could put it in the downstairs fridge. So I toss those in the downstairs fridge and I leave them in there. And I'm there for like 2 hours. And then I have to pull them back out of the fridge. No ice, just to help keep them cool. Not at that time, no. So I get to my dad's house, toss them in the fridge. I'm there for like 2 hours. I pull them back out. I head to my mom's house, toss them in the fridge there. I'm there for like 2 hours. I pull the final one out because, you know, I'm down to my last one now. And I head to my friend's house. Now, the one saving grace that I did not realize until well after, like way, way later, is the fact that they were cupcakes actually made it so much easier for it to set correctly. Because it was just a bunch of tiny little cakes. It wasn't just one huge cake. And the problem with cheesecake is that the center isn't going to set correctly, right? But because they were all a bunch of different cupcakes, they actually did. Like, despite the nonsense that I was putting them through throughout the day. So yeah, with this absolutely fucking thrown together ass dessert idea that I had to bring to my families and friends Thanksgivings, I got lucky. Yeah. I did it again the next year. But this time I did it like the night before, so that, like, I had, you know, they were able to sit in the fridge overnight and I didn't have to panic and do it all in the day of, you know. But yeah, if I had tried to make like an actual full cheesecake, oh my god, it would have been an absolute nightmare. But yeah, doing it as little cupcakes, it worked out pretty well. The only major issue is that the cupcake wrappers stuck to the cupcakes really, really badly. Would not recommend using paper wrappers with cheesecake cupcakes. Oh shit, I'm struggling. I was not paying attention. Oops. $2.99. We are definitely not going to be able to get there this time around, but I should be able to get it next time. So yeah, that was like that's basically the only dessert thing that I've ever tried to bake. And it turned out pretty well. Had a full Oreo as the base, and then you would I crumbled up a bunch of other Oreos and mixed. When is the first usable TM? Mount Moon. Well, technically Brock. And another topic, oh god, I forgot how sultry Morgan's voice was. I don't even know who that is. Actually, I probably do. She's the one with like dark hair. It's like, oh, here, I could actually just look it up real quick. Yep, that's who I thought it was. Most romance companion in the game. Poor Liliana never had any chance. I don't know. Liliana has an advantage in my eyes because she's a redhead. I got a thing for redheads. But yeah, first usable TM is after Brock. You can learn Bide. I am unsure whether or not Bide is better than I'm unsure whether or not Bide is better than Struggle. But the first like actual attacking move that we get access to is Mega Punch in Mount Moon. Which fortunately, we're going to be able to get Mega Punch without too much issue once we beat Brock. We'll just need to get rid of all of our power points every time. And we will be able to buy some potions. We'll be able to buy some fucking potions. Reason that's so good is because we won't have to go back and heal our fucking power points every time. Like right now, we get, was it like 5 fights in and we have to go and heal and start all over again? Fantasy junk food goth girlfriend like Shadowheart but shirtless. She's not shirtless. If she's shirtless, she would probably be like 100% romanced. Although I don't know if you could get a game past the ESRB without an adults only rating if you just had one of your female characters walking around shirtless the entire game. Oh, come on. We're almost there. We're almost there. It's our last one. How much experience do I need? 158. So we're definitely hitting level 26 this time. We're definitely hitting level 26 this time around. All right, we got 58 left. So actually, if we get a level 5 Pikachu, that gets us exactly to level 26. Oh, damn it. I saw the Pikachu. I was like, no fucking way. Damn. We didn't get it. Oh, well. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'm being picky. I'm being picky. I'm being picky. No Weedles, no Caterpies. Only Pikachu, Kakuna, and Metapod. That's the only things that we kill. We got 60 health. In total right now at level 26. I am going to try Brock again. Once we get rid of all of our teleports, obviously. We got more health, our attack is higher, our defense is higher. Not by much. What is our attack? 26? Hey, our attack finally matches our level. Finally. Also, we have a very nice special that we have no way to take advantage of. Fucking hell. Imagine if you went a full run with Abra TM-less. I don't actually no, we've already checked that. You actually cannot do that. Abra does not have enough health. You would actually be locked after or no, you'd be locked at Giovanni too. You would not be able to beat Giovanni too, I don't think. I don't think Abra can get enough health. Can't do ghosts. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about just having enough health to get past them. What minimum items are for Abra? You would need Psychic. Or no, I guess technically Seismic Toss is possible. Right? Because Seismic Toss gives you access. Seismic Toss actually does hit ghosts in Gen 1. Fixed damage moves ignore resistances and immunities. So something like Seismic Toss or Sonic Boom, those would be able to hit ghosts, even though Seismic Toss is fighting type and Sonic Boom is normal. The easiest way to get past would obviously be to just hit with Psychic, which you can get for free as soon as you get into Saffron. And that would allow you to get past the ghost types as well. So I feel like if you were to... you could probably get away with just having Seismic Toss and Psychic. Nope, let's not go into the Pokemon Center. Alright, we're trying Brock again. Trying Brock again. Level 26. Can we beat him? Come on, we need crits. I think if I crit at this point, we kill him. Yep. But we have less health this time than we did when we came in at level 25. Alright, and we're dead now. Yep. Oh, god damn it. I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna try one more time. We did get really bad luck when it comes to crits. Abra actually has a pretty decent crit rate. I think his speed is like 100 base. Yeah. So us only getting like 2 crits versus the... Alright, we need him to only ever Screech. Never mind, we're dead. Not have gendered Pokemon? Nope. Except for Nidoran. That's why Nidoran male and female are actually different species, is because they did not have gender differences in Gen 1. We'll try one more time. Honestly, super cool. Yeah. It was actually forced, like, major gender dimorphism. Because they didn't have just normal gendered Pokemon yet. Yep, except for the Nidoran lines. Okay, just don't do anything Okay, we have quite a bit more health than we did last time. Never mind, we immediately got tackled and got all of that taken away. And we're dead. Hooray. We have no way to do enough damage to kill. And we would also recoil ourselves to death before we beat him. All right. The only gender Pokemon in Gen 1 for some reason. I think that was like supposed to be their gimmick, right? Like they were the one. Because like, I mean, in most species, yeah, there's some gender dimorphism. But it's not like huge, right? But in some species, it's like very pronounced. And I think the Nidoran line was supposed to embody that very pronounced dimorphism that some species have. Whereas the rest of them, it's basically indistinguishable from one another. Mystic has a huge difference. Well, yeah, they're like, and I mean, hell, male and female peacocks have a huge difference. But like a lot of mammals, or a lot of animals, you really can't tell the difference. I mean, if you look at, you know, two golden shepherds from a distance, you're not going to be able to tell the difference if one's male, one's female. Not really. If you see two crocodiles together, one's male, one's female, there might be, I think females are bigger, but like, I don't think that there's a way specifically to determine whether or not one is male and one's female. Not without like extensive knowledge of that species. But like, then you have like, yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, hell, a lot of, insect species, right? There's a big difference between the males and the females. Gender based on transfer saying we can always tell being wrong about someone's assigned birth. Well, I mean, like that's the thing is like there's, especially now with hormone treatments and all that stuff, it's like, and like some people are just like naturally androgynous as well. There's somebody at my work that, like, upon first glance, it's very difficult to determine. Because they just have a very androgynous appearance. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, you know, it's like, well, all right, that's how that person looks. Yeah, some guys are very effeminate, some women are very masculine. You know, some people are very androgynous, like I said. But like if you're looking from a different species, not know their gender each by trying to either be super gender neutral or super gendered, but for both male and female. Yeah, I don't really run across people like that where I live. I live in a fairly conservative area. Like to the point where I don't think I've ever interacted, like in my day-to-day, I don't think I've ever interacted with a trans person. Probably because most of them get the fuck out of here. They flee for greener pastures. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I tend to not think about stuff like that too often. A, because like I said, it's not something that I run into in my day-to-day very often. And B, because like if I were, I'd be like, all right, cool, good for you. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Offline, specifically. But yeah, I kind of look at, you know, stuff like that kind of the same way as I look at somebody's sexuality. It's like, all right, as long as you're not hurting nobody. Doesn't work out. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Stuff like that is like really shitty because it's like, I don't know. It could be anything for, well, I'm not going to speak for your dad, obviously, but like, there's people that read very biased on both sides of the street, not just like the people that are very against trans, but there's also people on the opposite side that are that will push people towards being trans that aren't, and that is also damaging. Partly because the person's not trans and they shouldn't be doing that, and partly because that ends up giving their opposition more ammunition. Be like, they're all like that, you know, like that kind of nonsense. Is the stream lagging? Stream seems to be fairly consistent on my end right now. I don't know if it was lagging just a moment ago, but it's pretty consistent at 7,700 right now. I've always been a fairly, like, was it laissez-faire? Isn't that what it's called? Laissez-faire, live and let live. I guess that's more of an economic term, but yeah, for once it's not me. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I kind of, if that's what the person feels is right for them, that's what they want to do, then go for it. If you feel like you need to push somebody into doing something like that, I feel like that's kind of fucked up. Like, there's a difference between education and propagandization. I don't know if that's a word. One of them is good and is fine and is great. The other one, not so much. And it's kind of like, sometimes it's kind of difficult to determine between the two, right? And you know, it's some people, you know, there's some people that start going through the transition and then they decide that it's not for them and they detransition and then they get attacked by the trans community. And it's like, what the fuck's wrong with you people? Why would you attack this person? They're making decisions on their life for what's best for them. Why are you attacking them for that? Like, that's kind of fucked up. And I'm not saying that everybody does that, but I'm just saying that I have seen that happen. Only talking about trans stuff when I talk to her about it, so like, yeah. I thought I had another teleport. I thought I had another teleport. Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons that I don't talk about it that often. Most trans, yeah, it's just when I say that people will do that, I'm speaking specifically about the most extreme people on either side, right? Yeah. It's one of those vocal minority things, right? Like, this is not an accurate representation of the group, but god damn it, I did it again. I didn't actually mean to hit attack there. But they are very vocal and loud, and so people give them attention, despite the fact that they really shouldn't, right? It's one of the oldest rules of the internet. Don't feed the trolls. Whether they be, regardless of which, political side they're on. God damn it, I did it again. Oh, I was dead anyway. God, I kept attacking Weedles when I didn't mean to. 896. Oh my god. We're not gonna get to level 27 today. Are you kidding me? We started at basically level 21. We hit level 21 after a single fight today. And we are not gonna get to level 27 before the stream ends. God damn it. I blame my internet problems. Yeah, it's like issues like that are very difficult to determine the correct way to handle it because level per hour, basically. Chill. Most D-trans people are just used as statistics for transphobes, unfortunately. There is a D-trans person saying that D-trans are valid. Valid, you can have both. Yeah. It's like, I mean, like, it's... With... I wouldn't even... Well, actually, I have no idea. I have no idea how easy or difficult it is to get the kind of hormones necessary for transitioning. But I kind of liken it to somebody who is trying out different sexualities when they're trying to, figure out who they are. It's like, okay, you tried a thing. It didn't work out. You stopped. Why is that a bad thing? But yeah. It's the depending on where you are. Typically super fucking difficult to do. Maybe super difficult to do legally, right? But you can always get... There are ways, right? Yeah. Yeah. Now, obviously, this is not something that I have a whole lot of information on, right? Like, this is an aspect of life that, like I said earlier, I don't really consider that often. Doesn't come up for me very often. And yeah, it's a difficult topic because there's not a whole lot of objective information about it. A lot of it is very exaggerated, I will say, one way or another, to try and force a political viewpoint into being the correct viewpoint when it's a lot more complicated. And I feel like it's something that is individual to the person, to each individual, right? Like there's no one size fits all answer to this type of conversation or topic. And I mean, it's like any other, it's like any other kind of it's like you if you're trying to transition in the US, I think you have to you like have to talk to different doctors and psychologists, right? Again, this is not something that I have a whole lot of information on, so I'm I'm just kind of flailing about at the moment. Talk doctor, psychologist, at least in my state, took to a therapist. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because like, was it gender dysmorphia is the like technical term? Or no. What is the term? I can't remember the term. But the actual like technical term of feeling like you're in the wrong body. Gender dysphoria, that's what it is. This gender dysmorphia is what we were talking about earlier with the Nidorans. Dysphoria, yeah, okay. Very similar words, but very different meanings. Like it is a well, it's not a mental thing so much, but talking to a psychologist and a therapist can help I guess like correctly broach the top. Like yeah, I don't know, but and then like you'll get, which I okay, so what I'm trying to circle back to what I was trying to say originally, and then I got lost in like a bunch of, well, not a bunch of different tangents, but my brain started going off into different lines, and I did not need to do that. So I'm trying to refocus, and I'm failing miserably. Oh, I was talking about how it's like an individual thing. I would say like just like any, I mean, just talking to a therapist in general is just a really good thing. And hormone blockers, and if you like that, you can take estrogen, testosterone. Okay. Yeah, like honestly, I would say talking to a therapist is probably one of the better things that people could do to help themselves be in a better state of mind regardless of their situation, that many people, including myself, don't do. For me personally, I would love to be able to go to see a therapist. Unfortunately, that costs money that I do not have, and my insurance is not going to cover it. So that is not an option that I really have available, and I'm not going to do one of the online ones, because I've heard too many stories about those being well, hell, fucking, what was it, BetterHelp has like, was it up to 3 or 4 different scandals involving them and the way that they do their business? Like promising licensed therapists when they're just random people. They got their information, like their servers got breached, and they, so the two that I know of for sure about BetterHelp is A, the non-licensed people being called licensed therapists. That's the first one, and that's like, as far as I'm concerned, that's probably the biggest one. But the second one is they got a security breach, but they hid the fact that they had a security breach for like 6 months, which is also absolutely huge, that they just hid that away and denied it for 6 months. So yeah, guess what is never going to be sponsored on this stream ever? ISP client service, you hear the same person? Yeah, it's like that's fucked. Like the lies are just like really nasty, because you're like, these are people that are preying on people that can't, like, they're going to this service because they can't afford to go to a therapist, right? Like that's the majority of it. Like sometimes it's just a time thing, But like a lot of the people that go to BetterHelp is because it's a hell of a lot cheaper to go there than it is to go and schedule and like have an actual therapist that you go to on a monthly or weekly basis or whatever the fuck. And so they are taking advantage of people that are already not in a great spot because they're, you know, desperate to get a therapist. They are short on money. They are giving you their money and their trust, and you're fucking lying to them. And that's fucked up. It's like majorly fucked up. Yeah. That is a service that I'm not a fan of. And the instant you see a BetterHelp ad on this channel, well, not an ad read from me, because I like, if I ever do get ads on my channel on like on YouTube or on Twitch, I don't control what ads go on there, right? But if you ever hear me do an ad read for BetterHelp, unsubscribe, unfollow, do all that shit, because I've lost all integrity at that point and I do not deserve it. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Sponsor, yeah, like a sponsored ad read that I put into my videos or streams or whatever the fuck. Sponsor that I would love to get, though. I would love to get sponsored by Audible, though. That'd be great. I fucking love Audible. By the way, Audible's great. If you guys don't use Audible, highly recommend it. Jeff Bezos' money privilege revoked. Good. Good. Now, granted, I don't believe that that will ever be an issue. But just in case. Yeah, it's like those two things, that's the kind of damage to a company's credibility. That's the kind of damage to somebody's credibility that should have killed the company. How close are we to leveling up? 313? Oh, that's so close. That's so close. All right, so the reason I'm checking how much experience I need is because I did just have my alarm go off. It is 9 o'clock. I should be ending the stream, but I kind of want to get to 27. Try to get through this challenge before you lose your integrity. I will do my best. Lurking while playing, and the only thing I remember from these past 30 minutes was Audible and something about dysphoria. It's perfectly fine. Books and us have a complicated relationship. It's fine. So that's the thing that I really like about. So I started listening to Audible when I started driving for Pizza Hut. It's what I would listen to whenever I was driving around. And is it like, I think I have like 170 books on my Audible library at this point, something like that. It's like an insane amount. I have like over a year's worth of time spent listening to Audible books. And I think the ones that I've listened to the most, actually not I think, I know. The ones that I've listened to the most is the Dresden Files, which that is another thing that I will happily shill for. The Dresden Files is one of the best book series I've ever read. I fucking love the characters. I love the plots. I love everything about those books. I did not mean to kill that fucking Weedle. God damn it. 181. How much health do I have left? 33. Oh. I don't think I have enough health to hit level 27 here. I think I need to kill only level 6 Kakuna. It gives me 10 damage. Fuck. The reason that's worth a fuck is because I'm going to have 1 health. If I were to kill 2 more, I would have 1 health left. before I die. Or what one experience left, but I would have fucking god damn it, shit. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. I need $300. That's how much a potion costs. Okay. We can hit level 27 now. There we go. Okay, we can hit level 27. I'm still gonna be super picky with what I'm gonna kill. I don't even think I kill you. Level 5. I think it's fine. Right? Because that gets me down to 71, so I can now... Alright. So 4 and 5. So this will give me 41. So that'll get me down to 30. I know. Okay, so now any Kakuna, we get to level 27. Yes. Okay. What this means is next week on Tuesday, we will have to get rid of our PowerPoints, and then we will try Brock again at level 27. We got there. What we're going to do here, we're going to come here, we're going to save, and we're going to pause the fucking timer. Why is the timer not paused? Hello? Pause timer. All right. So, tomorrow, going to be Vileplume, which I expect will be quite a bit better than Abra. I expect Vileplume to go quite a bit better than Abra tomorrow. Yeah. And then Thursday I'm off, as always. Friday, we're gonna be starting the new thing. We're gonna be starting our Kingmaker Unfair Speedrun stuffs. Then on Saturday, we're gonna finish the last 3 of the last 3 mercs for the House of the Edge of Time. We got a Ranger, we got a Bard, and we have a Cleric to go through. And yeah, that's the plan for the rest of the week. Next Tuesday, we'll be back here with more Abra. 55 deaths, 5.5 hours. We got to level 27. Hopefully, we'll be able to beat Brock next week. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thank you everybody for hanging out and watching. Appreciate y'all as always. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope you all have a good evening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.